Om. In this session, we will take a look at the practical tools against depression. What we can do to get out of this heavy mood of sadness and darkness. In a separate session, we already discussed the more general context, understanding the cyclic nature, meaning the coming and going of those waves of emotions, of sadness and happiness, which happen to every human being all the time, cycling back and forth. For some people, periodically more, what we would call manic depressions, being high and then falling super low. So we discussed already this coming and going, and we looked at some general attitudes related to gratitude and trust. If you haven't seen it, watch that video. Today, we look at the more practical applications. What can we do to get ourselves out of the depression? Or even better, to avoid that we fall into it in the first place. Maybe we start with that one. When it's starting, when it's coming, that negativity, it's somehow arising. It frequently gets triggered by some event. Something goes wrong. It can be something small, whatever. We drop a glass of water, or we miss the train, or we forget the key, or something. There's always something, isn't it? So something goes wrong and it somehow lands on a sore ground, on some fertile ground for the negativity to... And it might be something we picked up from our parents, for example. Some like our father, mother also always got a bit aggravated when something went wrong. Maybe for them it expressed in anger. And then for us, maybe we don't get angry. It's somehow turned around. We don't allow ourselves to be angry like our parents something, but we always get kind of like, oh my God. And then we kind of beat ourselves up and again. And I feel like a loser. And then we go in the victim role. And then we notice this pattern in ourselves, which we maybe picked up in some surroundings of our friends, family, or from some period in our life where we were watching these melancholic movies and also listening to this kind of heavy music and digging ourselves in a previous period of our life deeper into that. And then it's kind of a fertile ground for some event when something goes wrong. There's like, and then it comes up again. And then it's this kind of, there we go again. That is exactly where I was pointing to. Catch it when it starts. Something small goes wrong, which could trigger another big episode. And you feel it already kind of creeping in from the side. And it's like, whoa. That's the moment to catch it. When you see it coming. The earlier the better. When you just feel something arising, you're like, okay. Let's take a deep breath here. Stay on the safe side, stable ground. And immediately somehow counterbalance. Don't get sucked into that direction, but come back to center. Catch it in the beginning. Because as soon as you're just drawn into this vortex, you're kind of, pulled down. And this heavy gravity takes over. And when we're already 10% down that suction, we're kind of we don't really stand a chance to easily get out. Still, we get better with time, and there's sometimes where we suddenly win the lottery, kind of, or a friend meets us in the right moment and it's like, oh, no, come, we do something else, go for a swim, come. So sure, sometimes we get out even when we're 30-40% in, but there's a certain likelihood that the deeper we're in already, the more probable it is that we get really all the way down. And then it coincides with the season. It's anyhow already November in the northern hemisphere, getting dark. And so catch it in the beginning. Super important recommendation. See the wave coming and immediately return to stable ground. The breath. You feel it already, maybe a certain contraction, tightness, constriction of sadness. And then you just change your body posture. Open up again. Breathe. And get out. Leave. Change the surroundings. Change the setting. Go out to nature. And literally switch on the light. It makes a difference. In this just mentioned winter depression, seasonal depressive disorder, light therapy, it works really on a physiological level. Get into a proper light treatment, some special lamp, strong exposure to light regularly. It's a hormonal thing, a chemical thing. And talking about that, it could be even related to some imbalance in your digestive system. More and more in the leading research, they're finding proof of direct connections between your intestine and the related microbiome, the kind of balance of the bacteria, beneficial and unbeneficial bacteria in your guts, a relation between your digestive tract and your brain. It's a biochemical connection. So it doesn't only need to come from education, from your experience, from some external events of this and that. It can be coming from your screwed up digestion, from some antibiotics or some other imbalanced food habits you have. Or some diseases, some this, that. So don't take it personal. It's not you did something wrong necessarily. It's like, there it wants to come again. And I have a tendency to take it personal and get sucked in. But it's like, no, I'm okay. There's just some issue in my gut. Take responsibility. Be clear. Switch on the light. Go out to nature. Be in charge. Reach out to a friend. Don't hesitate. Dare to expose, kind of like, whoa, I think it's coming again. Some of my digestion, now my mind, it's like the season. Please, I need help. Use these hotlines if you don't have a friend. You only think that you don't have a friend. You only think that in your family you cannot trust anyone. Be human. Allow yourself to be vulnerable, and you will see it will in some way or the other be welcomed. Even maybe other people, of course, they're busy and this, and then they brush it off. And still, if you reach out with sincerity, there will be some help. And if you don't trust other humans, then go to nature. Then get a pet, get a dog, get a cat. If you like the zoo, go to the zoo. I prefer to go into a park, wild nature, a forest, sit by a lake, a river. Go for a swim, move the body. Change the setting, the surroundings. Go for a walk, run. Cardiovascular exercise, strong breathing. You remember a physical, biochemical aspect of imbalance in your body. Move it. Go to the gym. Oh, but I cannot afford the gym. Then run in the forest. Go for a swim. It's cold, doesn't matter. It will wake you up. It will shake you up. It works. But no, I don't feel like... Take responsibility. The ability to respond. Make the appropriate choice. If you see that little wave coming, experience shows it will suck you in deeper. Stand up. And there's a certain non-compromising attitude of, I'm just not allowing, cut it out. Sure, sometimes it can be a bit of a suppression denial. Watch that. See it for what it is. Okay, don't take it personal. There it comes again. It's like, no, but I'm not wanting to go there. No, I definitely don't want to go there again. So I just take charge. Responsibility. The ability to respond. And frequently I cannot do it myself. But then I get help, as mentioned. But also doing the things which experience shows works. And just passivity frequently doesn't work. So get out there and move it in some way or another. And you will see it is possible. But I know it's definitely not easy. So I have compassion. And have compassion with yourself and the people in your surroundings which are struggling. And hold yourself. Don't feel bad about being depressed, because that makes it even worse. Acknowledge that it's in the nature of the emotions to come and go, up and down. It's not your fault. It's not you. It's on the one hand a biochemical hormonal thing, neurotransmitters, and it's some conditioning which was brought to us from the past experiences. And now it plays itself out again. And I learn how to handle it better and better. And then something really big goes wrong, and then again we fall back, and that's okay. Forgive yourself. Hold your hurt inner child. Trust. And appreciate to be alive. Somewhat healthy in somewhat safe surroundings. And practice small things like smiling. It's proven in dozens and dozens of studies that simply smiling with these muscles in your face, even if you feel horrible, and it's like, and you keep it up, and like, and you look at the mirror, and you're just like, fool, want to punch the mirror? No, keep on smiling. It's a biofeedback. It works. But we hate it in those moments. We don't even want to be told. And that's okay. Find your emergency exit to get out of this dark tunnel. See what works for you. Go running, go swimming, go to nature, connect to a friend, practice gratitude, mindfulness, enjoy the beauty of simplicity. Taste the food by chewing slowly, very slowly. And 1,000 other things which work if we only remember to do them. So for that, establish good habits that in the challenging moment, they come more easy for you to just tap into that beneficial pattern of yours, which you established in the manic period, then try to sustain it through the depression. You're not alone in this. It's human. So forgive yourself, trust, and cultivate this self-appreciation and love. Love yourself as you are. Unconditionally. Trust in life. Namaste.